Hello everyone. So it's Wednesday, the 26th of March today, and the Women's Prize for Nonfiction has been announced recently. I am working from home today, so we have the opportunity to look at the list. So I'm going to do that and give my reaction, and then we will read the books, I think. Okay, so we have A Thousand Threads by Nene Sherry, which I was not super excited about, but I heard good things about. The Story of a Heart by Rachel Clark. I'm very happy that's there. I really enjoyed that one. Raising Her by Chloe Dalton, which also I thought it was going to be. Agent So by Claire Muller, which I have also read and heard very good things about, but I was not super interested in. What the Wild Sea Can Be by Helen Scales. Surprised about that one. Maybe it's because more sciencey and there was not that much sciencey stuff there, but I'm very surprised about that. And Private Revolutions by Yuan Yang, which I'm also very happy about. So I think I have predicted 3 of them. Not bad, and I have read 3 of them. I have read The Story of a Heart, What the Wild Sea Can Be, and Private Revolutions. I'm sad that Sister-in-Law is not there because I really want to read it. But yeah, so I have to read Agent So, Raising Her, and A Thousand Threads. I'm not mad about that. I know that A Thousand Threads is in my library in Dutch, but I think I would prefer to read it in English. So let's go shopping now. I am surprised that none of the native stuff is there, like Alex's Right. I thought it was going to be there. I'm kind of happy that it's not, because I didn't like the little bit of praiseworthy that I read, not because it's badly written, it's just not my kind of thing. Yeah, I'm happy that it's not there because it's like 800 pages and I didn't think I was gonna like it, so I didn't want to read it. So the paperback of A Thousand Threads is coming out on the 29th of May, which is very annoying because the winner is announced, I think, on the 2nd of June, so that would only give 3 days to read it if it comes the day that it's published, which normally doesn't. Actually, the audiobook is quite expensive, but it's cheaper than the actual book, and probably it's nice for. I'm also a bit sad that Auckland is not here because I also really wanted to read it, but yeah, that's what it is. I thought it might not make it, so not too sad about that. I'm just so surprised that what the Wild Sea Can Be is there. So I found all 3 of them. I think they're mostly hardbacks, but yeah, that's what it is. And they are all pretty decently priced, so I'm gonna go ahead and order them, and I'll update you when they're here and I can start reading them. Hello everyone, so it's Tuesday and I have a package. It has been less than a week, I think, but it's already here, so I'm excited about it. I'm doing a terrible job opening this. There we go. So I have Nene Sherry, A Thousand Threads. I have Agent So. This is big. I mean, they are both paperbacks, but they are the big paperbacks. And this one is almost 400 pages. But the actual book is 310. These are references, so it's okay. And then I have Raising Her by Chloe Dalton. So these are the 3 books that I have left to read from the shortlist of the Women's Prize for Nonfiction. I am excited about all of them. Just being here. I have had very bad luck lately with ordering books. So I'm happy that this one's made it fairly quickly. I ordered them from Kenny's. If anyone is from Europe and is having troubles with UK-based bookstores providing books, Kenny's is an Irish bookstore, so in general I have the feeling that they have less trouble with just sending books because they are in the European Union. So that's where I ordered this from. I also wanted to briefly mention that the Women's Prize for Fiction has been announced, the shortlist as well. I have no interest in the shortlist, to be honest. The only book that it sounds appealing to me is the Safekeep, which I have already read, and honestly I hope it wins. And then today also the International Booker shortlist has been announced. And there were a couple of things there that sound mildly interesting, but I was not super impressed with any of them. Like topic-wise, I just don't feel like it's my thing. And the book of Disappearance, which was the one that I want to read, but again, my copy hasn't arrived yet. Sister-in-law has not arrived yet. It has been more than a month. But yeah, anyway, the book of Disappearance didn't make it, which was a bit disappointing, but it is what it is. But I have these books with me. So it is Tuesday today, and I am currently reading Rebirden. I think I can finish it today. I think I have like 70 pages left. So tomorrow I will be starting one of these. I'm not sure what I'm going to start because we are going to Germany for the weekend. We are leaving on Saturday, coming back on Sunday, so it's a very short trip. But I want to, ideally, I would like something that I can finish within like the week, so that I don't have to take books around, and like this one is the one that I'm the most excited about out of the three, but it's the one that I want to leave for last because okay, so I have a very busy April. Next weekend we're going to Germany. The weekend after, on Thursday actually of next week, some friends of my husband are coming to stay for a few days for like Easter. So they are staying until Sunday, and then Monday is Easter Monday, so it's a holiday, and then on Tuesday we are flying to Barcelona until the 28th of the month. So we will be gone for the majority of the second half. And I think this one is the one I want to bring to Barcelona. Assuming I don't read all of them before leaving, this one would be the one that I would like to bring with me because it's kind of like the smallest one, and I only have like not even a carry-on. I only have the like personal item because apparently they can do that now. So I think that one will be the best. So I want to read these ones before I leave for Barcelona. And yeah, I don't know which one I want to start with. I kind of want to read this one more, but that's why my brain is saying no, tackle this one first. Also, again, probably nothing related to anything, but my husband's friends are musicians and like they are very artistic, and they are organizing like a sort of a festival thing on Saturday. So this feels like that will fit the vibe better. So maybe I should read this one this next week and start with this one once I finish Rebirden. I think that makes sense in my brain somehow. Probably I'm overthinking this, but it makes sense in my brain. So I might start with this, but also this one is probably the biggest one of the three. And I'm not sure I want to bring this with me to Germany, but I could just also, it's only 2 days, so I could just leave it here. I'm overthinking this. I'll probably start this one tomorrow, and I will update you when I have something more to say. Hello everyone, it is Friday morning, and I wanted to update you because I started Agent Zo. I am 124 pages in, so about a third of the way in, and I'm liking it so far. I think the writing is good, and I think the way that story is told is engaging enough. However, as I predicted, I'm not super interested in spy stories, and I'm not super interested in war, Second World War stories. So, yeah, I'm liking this as much as I can like it, given the topic, I think. But yeah, this woman was pretty cool, and I like that she, at the beginning, of course, she makes mistakes, and the book talks about it, like she made this mistake when she was doing this and that, and she felt very bad about it, and this, because we often get this image of people that were this brave during the war, that they were perfect and everything they did was amazing, but this woman doesn't. And I believe that that was the case for most people. So I like that. I also like that she was a mathematician, actually. She studied mathematics in the university, and that's why she became so instrumental during the war. They also collaborated to, like at the start of Enigma, which was the machine that Alan Turing was part of developing, and basically won the war. So yeah, that's also in this book. And also there was a point, I think it was in the introduction, when it was said, as a woman, if you are fighting in a war, you are also fighting for feminism. There is no way you can't, because people will always look down on you at first, so you have to prove yourself more than men do. But also they did use that in their advantages, because nobody expected them to be the intelligentsia people, so they could go to places that men cannot, because they were overlooked by the government. So yeah, I'm liking it as much as I can. I think it's a good book. It's just not, the topic is just not my thing, but yeah, I'll continue reading and let you know when I finish. And obviously, I'm not gonna finish this by the end of today, so I will have to bring it with me in Germany. But I think that by the end of the week, I should be done with this. As I said, I'm in page 124, and my hope is that today I can arrive to, I think it's to 239. So if I can read this today, that would be great, because this is like the start of section 4, part 4. So then I only have like 70 pages or so to read during the trip, and I'm expecting not to have a lot of time to read in Germany. So it will be great if I don't have a lot left from the book. But yeah, those are my updates, and I'll come back to you when, probably when I finish the book. Hello everyone, it's a Monday morning, and I forgot to take an B-roll in Germany, but we had a good time. And I also brought Agent Zo to Germany and read nothing. But I did read some when we came back yesterday, after I had unpacked and all that. And I am now on page 268, which means that I have about 40 pages to go. I have this much left. This is notes. So I'm almost finished. I think for sure I'm going to be able to finish it today. And so far, similar thoughts. I think it's a good account of the life of this woman, and there are lives that need to be talked about. But I'm not a war person. I'm not a spy person, so this book is just not for me. It's not engaging. I don't care enough about the people that we're talking about. I forget all of the names of all of her friends and stuff. It's not my personal favorite. But I understand why this has appeal for other people. So yeah, I probably will finish this today, and then when I finish that, I think I'm going to start the Nana Cherry, which I'm also not very sure about, but I have more hopes for, because this one is about as musician, which I don't know her. I've never heard any of her music. But last year there was How to Say Babylon, which was about a poet. And it was quite interesting to read about her growing up as a Rastafari. And because she's a poet, she could write very well. And musicians, at the end of the day, are kind of poets. So I'm hoping this is well written and it's more about the story of her rather than the story of music. But I don't know, we will have to wait and see when I read this. So yeah, those are my plans. I have a lot of bits and bobs that I have to do today apart from work. I need to pass by the supermarket. I need to drop off a parcel to be sent. I need to go to the library because my haul for There Are Rivers on the Sky came in. And I might need to read that in between different books. And if I have not finished Agent So, by the time I pick up There Are Rivers in the Sky, then I might start that instead of this, just because that is a very big book and I want to have it done. So I might alternate, I don't know yet. We will have to see. But yeah, there's a lot of little things that need to happen today because I was not here on the weekend, so I didn't have time to do them in the weekend. Yeah, so busy day. It's gonna be a busy couple of days, but luckily on Thursday I'm off for 10 days or something. So I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, I'll update you when I have finished something, started something. I'll let you know. Hello everyone. So I finished Agent Soul last night by Claire Muller. And as I said before, this was not a book for me. I think it was very well written. I did get a little bit lost with all the people that she interacted with, and she, like her colleagues, her friends. There were a lot of them, so I got a little bit lost with that. But also just war stories are not my thing, and I felt that especially at the end, because at the end we follow her after the war. First, what happened to her when the Soviets were there, and what happens after the Soviets leave, but mostly, yeah, like her trying to rebuild her life after the war. And she became a professor in a university in history, I believe, and she was trying to rebuild the history of all these women that like became spies during the Second World War in Poland, because the Soviets were trying to rewrite history in a way that favored them, and she was trying to tell the truth. And I enjoyed that part so much better than the beginning, when she's like traveling around and parachuting herself and all of that. So yeah, this book was not for me because the war was not, the spy novel parts was not for me. But I did enjoy the end, when it's not about spies and wars anymore. And yeah, I think it's a good book. I see why it's in the list. It's just not the book for me, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm okay with it being in the list. And now I was supposed to pick up 1,000 Threads by Nana Cherry, but I passed by the library on my way back from work, and I picked up There Are Rivers in the Sky by Lift Like a Fuck. I had a hold of it and I have started it just a little bit, so I'll be reading this and I will update you when I start something else for the Women's Prize for Nonfiction, I think. It's gonna be a few days because this is a chunky one. But yeah, that's the status of everything at the moment. Everyone, so it's Friday today. So it's like 4 days since I haven't updated you, and I was reading another book. But today, as I said, it's Friday, and I'm about to start Nana Cherry 1,000 Threads. Also, I wanted to briefly mention, if this video, the quality of the sound or the video is horrible, it's because I'm recording it in my computer, because my husband has been organizing an event tomorrow, and they have taken my good camera. So this is what we are doing. But yeah, I am going to sit down and start on a cherry, because another byproduct of this event that he's organizing is that our house has kind of become headquarters for about 10 people, so there's people around all the time. But they have now gone to rehearse, so they should be out for a couple of hours. Alex is in daycare, which is great because I never get time when she's in daycare and I'm not working. And today, because it's Good Friday, the Netherlands is one of those places in which some things are open and some things are closed. And so, because some relatively high amount of people work, the daycares are open, but my personal work is closed. So that never happens, and I never get time to myself. And I was looking forward to have time to myself, but obviously because there are so many people everywhere, I haven't been able to until now, which is it's 2 p.m. now, and I think I will go pick her up in a couple of hours. But in between, I'm going to start this finally, and I'll let you know what I think about it.
Hello everyone, it is Monday evening, and I haven't updated you yet because the last few days have been crazy. There was 5 to 10 people in the house at all times. There was so much to do, there was so much to clean, to prepare food. It's been crazy, but yeah, the event that my husband was organizing was a success, I think, so that was good. And we have been taking today super easy because we are all exhausted, so I went to the park with Alex and I packed my bag because we are going to Barcelona tomorrow, and I have been doing laundry and stuff like that. But yeah, it has been quite chill since yesterday, and I didn't finish this as I was hoping to. I'm about half of the way through, so I have I think like 150 pages left, and it's still not even 8, so I don't think I will be able to finish it tonight, but probably tomorrow. And yeah, I have already packed my bag for Barcelona as well. It's only a carry-on, not even a carry-on, it's like a personal item because apparently they charge for carry-ons now, and I just didn't feel like it. I'm going to my parents' house, I have clothes there, I have toothbrushes, all of that, so I don't need a lot of stuff, so I didn't feel like taking a carry-on for extra 20 or 30 euros. So I'm not taking Rising Hair as I was hoping for, because I checked the book. Let me show you. So I checked the book, and it's a hardback, but it's smaller than normal hardbacks. And then if you open it, there's really little text in there, like it's really big spaces. Like if you compare to a normal book, it's crazy how different that is. So I didn't feel like, since my luggage is already small, I didn't feel like bringing this book when it feels like the space it takes doesn't guarantee the amount of words that it's there inside. I know that doesn't make sense for most people, but it makes sense for me. So I decided it's a bit less than 300 pages, but again, since there's so little words in the page, I think I could probably finish in a couple of days after I'm back. So I think that's what I'm going to do with this one. I'm not gonna try to read it in Barcelona, I'm just gonna enjoy Barcelona. I have other books I can read, but yeah, plans aside, I have been reading this on and off, and I'm really liking it. I mean, it's not the kind of scene that I'm normally into. It's Nana Cherry is an artist, a musician, and so far, as I said, I'm about half of the way through the book, and she's 18, 19. and she just moved in with her boyfriend husband. I mean, they got married, but they're 18, so, or she's 18. They have a child together though, and she talks a lot about, more than her relationship, she talks a lot about female friendship. This book is mostly so far about female bonds. So at the beginning, we really look at her relationship with her parents, her mom, her dad, and her stepdad, but mostly like her mom. And then as she grows up, we also look at all of the relationships that she got with different women as she was growing up. And I think that's the beautiful thing of it. It's also very well written, it flows really well. So I'm actually enjoying it. As I said, it's not my scene, but still I'm enjoying it. I would say, I mean, it's a fairly different tone, but I would say if you enjoy Tove, which Tove is it? Is it Tove Johnson, the one of the Copenhagen trilogy? If you enjoy that, this has a different tone, but somehow it reminds me of each other. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. So yeah, this has been a win for me so far, even though if it's not my, like, I have never heard her music. I've never moved in the areas where she moves. Still compelling, and you don't have to know about any of this. Obviously, I'm sure that if you know about the places she played at and all of that, it will be a lot more interesting and more I don't know, meaningful to you, but still a very good book so far. And yeah, I will update you when I finish. Hopefully tomorrow. We will see. Hello everyone. I'm here because I did finish the 1,000 Threads by Nana Cherry, and I thought it was good. I think that she's a good writer. I did like the first half much more than the second half. The second half focuses a lot more on her career, which I'm naturally less interested in, so it happens. But I think I really like how she talks about her women relationships with her grandmothers, her mother, and her friends. And she has a complicated family, so she has a lot of stepsisters, half sisters, her daughters. She has 3 daughters. And she talks a lot about those relationships, and I really, really enjoy how she talks about them and how important they were to her life. And she is clearly a very strong woman. I really liked also. There is not a lot of it, but there is some moments in which she talks about current events and like the political climate at certain points, like Margaret Thatcher features here. But at the very end, there's a couple of sentences about Trump, about COVID, stuff like that. And yeah, I really like those little things. I wish I could have something more about that from her mind, because I think it would be very interesting. I think the creative part of it, like the music and the artistic things, were a little bit out of my comfort zone. I don't know, like I did listen to a couple of her songs because I was curious, and it was just not my thing. I just don't get it. So in that sense, talking about the creative process of those things, not super interesting to me. But and also, like, there's a fair amount of talk about abuse, not so much from her. She did have a depression moment, but more about the people around her. She also talks about the AIDS epidemic and like the friends that she lost during that time. And yeah, those parts were fine. But yeah, I really like the relationships, and I think the first half of the book focuses more on the relationships, and the second half focuses more on the career side of things. He also talks a lot about her family, especially. But yeah, that part was a little bit less. It was connected with me less. And that doesn't mean that the book is bad or it's badly written, or it's just like naturally I'm less interested in it. So overall, I think this is a good book. I enjoyed it, and see why it's in the long list and the short list. Maybe just not 100% my thing, but yeah. There's also quite a lot of photographs throughout, which I really appreciated to put things into context, given that I have never known anything about Nana Cherry. I thought that was nice. But yeah, nice. That's all I can say. It's good. It's it hasn't blown my mind, but it was good. Yeah. So yeah, we have to leave for the airport in a couple of hours, and as I said, I'm not taking Rising Hair, so I will read that when we come back. But yeah, I will probably vlog little bits of Barcelona here and there, and yeah, I'll see you when I come back. Hello everyone. So it has been, I think, a couple of weeks since I last talked to you. We had a lovely time in Spain, lots of family time and stuff. We were flying on Monday, which is when the blackout happened, and that was super chaotic and crazy. Like, it's not just that you didn't have lights or something, it was also like no internet, no communication, like phones were not working at all. So we didn't know anything. We thought that like the lights went out in our house and that was it, and then we went to the street and someone said no, like it's actually the whole of Spain, and there was no way to find information, like you couldn't Google it or anything. There was one radio station that was working, and so my dad and I decided to drive to the airport, put the radio on the car, which was the only way to communicate because we don't have radios with batteries anymore, and just drive to the airport and hope there was something going, and there was. My flight had an hour delayed, but considering everything, I think that was pretty good. And the airport has generators and stuff. It was more about if people would be able to reach the airport or not, and not only passengers but also airport staff and crews and things like that. Like there was no metro, there was no train going there, so you basically had to have a car, taxi, and the buses were completely overloaded. So it was, and the traffic was horrible as well. So that was an experience. But given the circumstances, I think an hour late in the plane is not bad. My dad had 3 hours to drive back home when normally it's like 30 minutes, 45 minutes to go from my parents' house to the airport. And my mom had to pick up my brother's kids from school. And so because there was no tram, she had to walk an hour and a half there, an hour and a half back. So that was pretty crazy as well. But yeah, it was more like there was no communication. There was no, like, if you didn't know if you normally took the metro and you wanted to know how to go by bus, you couldn't Google it. Like, it was just like, it was chaos. But we made it. We made it home on Monday. It's Thursday morning now. I've had a couple of days to, do laundry and get settled. Work is pretty busy as well, so that's great. But last night I was able to start Raising Her by Chloe Dalton, and I have to be honest, I don't love it. So far it's very overwritten for me. Like, sentences will run like for 4 or 5 lines. Let me see if I can The barn where I lived stood alone in a broad expanse of arable farmland, quartered by streams and hedgerows, and interspersed with stands of woodland. I had grown up with stories of poachers cutting logs and forcing open gates to drive onto the farmers' fields and into the woods, hunting deer and rabbits or setting their dogs to chase hares. Like that's kind of it's very long sentences. It's very like wordy and yeah, and I'm not loving that. Unfortunately, it's I have to say that I think the beginning was more overwritten, and now I'm 49 pages in, and now it's getting a little bit better. Maybe because she's running out of steam of the editing process of making everything sound super pretentious. But I'm hoping that that continues because I'm not enjoying the pretentious things. And so far she has just found this leveret, which is like a baby hare, and it's just she took it to her home because the mom disappeared, so she was like, okay, they are going to die if they are down there. But she's trying to not touch it, not interfere, so that they can go back into the wild at some point when they are a little bit bigger. But she has no idea. Like she's a city person that happened to move to the countryside during the pandemic. So that's so far where we are. It has some beautiful illustrations. It's kind of like the map of the house, and especially the first chapter. Like every chapter has one of these. This one is particularly cute, but each of them has one of those. So yeah, so far it's not going amazing. I'm hoping that it gets better. We will see. As I said, it's Thursday, so I'm not working today, but because it's school holidays, my swimming pool is closed, which is normally what we do on Thursdays. The weather is amazing. It's supposed to get up to 25 degrees today, so I think we are going to the beach. I would also like to go to the city center at some point. I have to go to the library. I have to. I want to go to buy some other stuff. I recently got a new phone because mine was completely cracked, and the screen protector that I put on it doesn't fit very well. It's full of. I don't know if you can see. It's full of bubbles. So I want to get a new screen protector, and I want to get maybe some bowls for the house. We don't have like tiny bowls for like olives or something, and every time I go to my parents' house, they have nice things, and I also want to have nice things. So I might go there and check what they have, and yeah, that's kind of the plan. I also have to go buy some groceries and some like shower gels and stuff like that at some point. So yeah, that's kind of all the things we have to do. We'll see how much we get done because I also don't want to stress. It has been intense few days. So yeah, that's the plan. I also want to read this. It's 8:15 and Alex is still asleep, but I don't think she's gonna be asleep for much longer. So I think the first thing that I want to do is maybe cut the grass in the garden because it's completely overgrown. And then clean up around the house a little bit, and then we might just go to the beach so that it's not too hot when we get there. And yeah, I'll update you when I update you. Hello everyone, so it's Saturday and I have finished Rising Hair by Claire Dalton, and the writing of this got better. At the beginning was completely overwritten, and I don't know if it's because I got into the flow of it or because it actually got better, but it got better. And I did like this book. I found that some of the observations of nature that she has and things like that were very nice, and many of the things also were relatable as a city person myself, of not knowing how things work and finding out how things work. But there was also some parts in which that came as, you know, the annoying person that thinks that they have discovered something completely new and revolutionary when it's like things that people have known for many years. And so there was a little bit of a balance between like being annoyed at her and being in agreement of what she's saying. And so I think I didn't like this as much as I could have. I understand why other people do, but this reminds me of the feelings that I often have for Annie Arnaud's writing. I find her as a person kind of annoying, but the things that she says, I connect with sometimes quite a lot. So I had similar feelings with this. So not my favorite, but not a bad book, I would say. So now I have read the whole shortlist, and I think my favorites are still Private Revolutions and The Story of a Heart. I think that Story of a Heart has the most chance to win. I think it's the one that I have been the most I have seen the most love towards, and I think it's also narratively is quite special way to go through the history of transplants and the medical world in that sense, because it's not like a straight non-fiction about that. It has like the personal story and the emotional connection to it as well, which I found it was quite innovative and quite special, and I think a lot of people found that as well. So I think The Story of a Heart is probably the one that I would put my money on to win. Not that I bet, but yeah, I think that that would be the one that I would expect to win, even though I also really like Private Revolutions, and I think all of these books are good, are very good, and they all have flaws. There's not a perfect book in this list, but they are all very enjoyable, and I think that is all in itself quite strong. That I have enjoyed all of them, and I can see why they are all in the shortlist. I have enjoyed some of them less because they appeal less to me topic-wise. I have enjoyed some of them less as well because the narration style didn't completely connect to me, but that those are all personal things rather than book things. So I think it was overall a very good list, a very good project, and I'm very happy that I did this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about the short list, the long list, if you're going to read any of these books, and until next video, bye!